There, welcome to another episode of Eve News, Weather, and Sports. I'm Mike Azariah. Today is February the 2nd, 2026. Bit of a slow week, but I have a few things to get through before we get to the end of it, so buckle up, hang on, and here we go. CSM's been meeting all the past week. I did get confirmation of that, so it did happen. No notes have come out, but they have admitted that they were meeting, and it kind of explains some of the quietness that's been happening because they've been busy talking internally, which is what the CCP does with CSM. I'm hoping that they do put out minutes. CCP, if any of you guys are listening, I am watching you. I do want the minutes. But if we don't, it'll be par for the course. But I hope they do put the minutes out. It's nice to get a sense, even if they NDA it to hell and back and redact everything except for Trump's name, that'll be fine. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, or the next thing, was I've seen a lot of threads in various places of players returning to the game and saying, "What I miss? I've been gone since 2013." There actually is a website, the link will be down below, for players returning, kind of recapping what has gone on in the past few years. And it's if you're a player who's still playing or a new player, you may want to go there just to see what came before. Uh, Connected to that, another CCP announcement this week was that a new exploit has been added to the list of exploits in the game of things that will get you banned. And in this case, it's hiding your sinos and filaments and deployables inside of dead space areas so that it's a little tougher for hunters to come and kill you. They don't like that. I looked at the conversation and it was interesting in that people said this has been a thing for quite a few years. Why did they make the change now? One of the tinfoil hat conspiracy theories was, well, somebody just used it to avoid a dread battle or ambush somebody with Sinos. And so it was a nullsec organization complaining that they were taken advantage of. And maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back when you get the complaints from the larger organizations rather than just a single explorer who got bopped coming out of a filament. Last thing in the news portion, Community Beat did come out this past week, I think yesterday, and it mentions things like the CSM meetings I already covered. It also mentions that the Odds is putting on a video series of Zero to Omega, which is starting a brand new, fresh character and trying to get it to where it's a subscribed character, Omega, paid with in game assets. But rather than going out and running abyssal space or exploration, he's trying to show that it can be done with pure station trading. So if you've ever been curious about station trading, I can't think of anyone better to teach you it than the Oz, and you might want to take a look at that video. I'll put a link to the community notes down below, and in there you'll find a link to the Oz's video on that. It is probably worth a good look. On to the weather. Changes in Alliance, Sons of Bane went up 749 characters. I think they almost doubled their numbers. In corporations, Chuang Shi dropped 351, which is about 10% of their numbers. And I noticed in the movements of the corporations, there's more red than green. I don't know what that means. Is it end of month and some of the corps are doing house cleaning of people who no longer play? It's a possibility, but it's just an odd thing that there's a few numbers up, but if you add it up as a total, it definitely is a negative in the corporations over the past week. Violence wise, in nullsec, it was Yankee 4 Bravo TAC Bravo Quebec with 683 ships and 280 pods blown up. In lowsec, it was once again Tama 274 over 202. In highsec, it was Jita with 646 over 231. And in for NPC deaths, it was OTAC N589. That's a Paragon Soul, and that area is owned by Drakiris, and they popped 43,536 ships. A fair amount of violence, and I wonder how much this was made in Paragon Soul in that week. if you took the places that I mentioned, the 4 places in a month, and compare them to the MER at the end of that month, the economic report, would it be reflected there that these places, Paragon, Seoul, Fountain of the Silent, that sort of thing, do they have the highest NPC bounties? I haven't bothered to look, but it just occurred to me that it would be something worth looking at. I was going to have rum and lemonade, but I went to the fridge and I was out of lemonade. Just rum. It's a hard life. Kanpai. Smooth. Catch you next week. Later, Gators.